Woohoo! Hey, bass players. I am going to be um, doing a video on Allegretto. Allegretto was written by Beethoven, and it's the first piece that we're going to be playing in class. And it's the first piece that we're going to try and do a recording of this. It's Beethoven's 250th birthday this December, and we're going to be doing a little German cultural work unit. And so I'm going to show you how to kind of work on this and practice this. It's not super, super difficult. It's very, very important. You guys know this. You guys are the heartbeat of the orchestra. It needs to be perfectly in time. So your rhythm needs to be perfect. Okay, you start off, if you look at the very beginning, there are no sharp signs, there are no flat signs in the beginning of the measure, okay, or the beginning of the whole piece, which means we're going to have naturals. Okay, now that means that we're going to be using our second fingers a lot instead of our fourth fingers, which is actually good because a lot of you don't like to stretch as far as you should. Okay, so on the D string, we're going to use two fingers for an F and not an F sharp. Same thing on the A string, we're going to use two fingers for a C and not a C sharp. And then down here on the E string, if we play that low, we're going to play two fingers for a G and not a G sharp. Now the exception here is if we do happen to go up on the G string, which is the string that we like to play on, it's a little bit easier to play, we're going to use four fingers because if we did two fingers, it's going to become a B flat and we don't want that. Okay, so just remember, only use a four on the top string. Okay, right away at the beginning, we've got two measures of rests. Okay, there are two beats in every measure. I know that because I looked at the beginning, and it says 2/4, so it means there's two quarter notes in every measure. All right, and that's good. So then we're going to count two measures of two beats. So we count 1, 2, 1, 2, or 4 beats total. Okay, the rhythm here, it's very repetitive, and we're going to play long, short, short, long, long. So I'm going to start at measure 3, skipping those rests. We've got open. And I'm going to stop right there because did you notice I used 4 fingers? Even though I said you're not supposed to use 4 fingers. So the 4 fingers there is because when I look in my music, I see a sharp sign marked in. So normally we would not play that. We would play 2 fingers, but because they specifically marked in a sharp sign, we have to do it. Okay, I'm going to start back at measure 3. Open, 1, 2, ready, and 4 fingers, open E, open A. Same thing, A, but now you can use 2 fingers because it's marked natural. 2 fingers on the A string. Measure 11 is 2 again. For the G sharp, open E. Okay, now I'm not actually going to play from 19 to 27 because it's a repeat. Okay, so if you can do the other part, you can do that. Now at 27, you're going to notice a zigzag rest. That's a full beat. So it's going to be rest, short, short, short note, short note. Okay, but those short note with the rest after them, they just sound like you're playing quarter notes. So rest, short, short, quarter note, quarter note. Rest, short, short, quarter note, quarter note. Okay, it's an eighth note with a rest after it, so it just means they want you to chop it off a little bit. 27. 1, 2, ready. It's full rest. 4. And this one's weird too because it's a G with a sharp. So if you sat on something sharp, it's going to make you jump up higher. If you put a sharp in front of a note, it's going to make that note sound higher. Okay? So one more time at 27. Ready? It's rest. 4. Backwards. Open E. Open A. 2 on E. Aha! The note before 35 is higher than what we can normally play. It's actually a C sharp, so you can just put your fourth finger on the third tape instead of the second tape. So just a little bit higher, okay? Now the rest of this goes on the same. I'm going to skip ahead to 51. You'll notice from 51 to 75, the rhythm is different from what we had at 27, but it's all the same within there. So there you have a quarter note and a little percent sign rest, and then a note that has a tail. So the percent sign rest and the note that has the little tail are both eighth notes. So if they were both notes, it would be ta, ti, ti, ta, ti, ti. Long, short, short, long, short, short, like that. So all we have to do is go long, sh, short, long, sh, short, sh, short, sh, short, like that. Okay, so if I started at 51, 1, and ready, and long, rest, 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 rest. Okay, but I am going to tell you something that's going to make it a little bit easier. The note that's the bottom note and the note that's the top note. So you've got these low notes and these high notes. You have to skip way across all of the strings in order to get to those notes. So they are the same note. They are an octave apart. An octave or an octagon has 8 sides to the house or the shape. An octopus has 8 tentacles or legs, and an octave has 8 notes. So it's 8 notes higher, and those 2 notes have the same letter name. So what you could actually do at 51, instead of playing the low note and the high note, you could play the low note twice. So rest, 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 rest. Right? Okay, you could also choose to play the high note twice. That would be fine. Okay, that goes all the way to 75. Now at 75, we have something that's a little bit tricky. The very first note, I'm also going to tell you how to simplify this. The very first note at 75 is a quarter note. All right? After that, you have a group of 3, what you think would be 3 notes, but there's one tiny little rest and then 2 notes, but they're all hooked together with a beam above it that says 3. Those are triplets, and what they're doing is they're trying to squish 3 notes into one beat. Just like if you had triplets, it's 3 babies that are in the place of 1 baby. Generally, people just have 1 baby, right? But if you squish 3 in there, we call them triplets. So what it would sound like if I just played it on the A string, I would play a quarter note, triplet, 1, 2, 3, quarter. Okay, now we did say that there's a rest there, so it would sound like this. Rest, rest, triplet, strawberry, right? Okay, now if you were to play the real notes, we have that same problem where we're going from one spot to the next. So it would sound like this. Rest, 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 rest. Or, again, because they're an octave apart, you could just repeat the low note. I would like to make it easier than that even. And I think at 75, you can play the first note in every measure and then play it again where the rest is. So instead of this, rest like that, it would be quarter note, then change the next measure. So you're playing the first quarter note that's written at 75, and then when there's a rest, you're going to play that same note again. All right? It's going to take you all the way through to 99, where I see 4, the number 4, above a beam of rests, and that means 4 measures worth of rests. And remember, if you look back at the beginning, we have 2 beats in every measure because it says 2 over 4. So we count 1, 2, second measure, 2, third measure, 2, fourth measure, 2, and that's the end. All right? You guys are awesome. There's a couple funky things in here. I would try those simplifications. Okay? If you're super hotshot, you can do it. Go for it. Thanks. Bye.